Okay, this is a test of this smaller motor. Um, One thing that I did before was I used this newer controller and I think there might be a problem with programming or something because it's a little bit different chip MCU than on this older controller. They look pretty much the same, but they have different MCU. And I think what happened was it maybe need to be programmed a certain way for this motor to work. And what happened, it started, like I told you, it was starting maybe right, I actually jumped into 1000 RPM from zero. That was the issue. So what I did, I hooked up the older controller type, so this one can also do the censored and sensorless operation. And this is what I'm seeing right now. Sensors are connected. It's a little bit of a mess here, but you can just trust me that well, it's connected correctly, and it's running off 92 volt right now. And we'll watch how it works. So I have this throttle here. So this throttle goes into the, by the way, there's your other motor over there, but it's going through the module. So it gets set for programming. This is my module that I use for tests and all kind of, other things plugged in externally. I can plug it to any controller for test. So huge kind of a mess here, but it's wired. And anyway, so let's see. So this is my throttle, this is the motor, and there's some temperature not connected jump in, but otherwise it's so I'm starting it. So it's working in sensor mode. So what I like is that what I complained about earlier was that it jumped to 1000. So right now I can actually start at some 200, which is great. I think this is a really, what we need. So you need to, that thing fell down, need to put it on something so it's not reflecting anyway. So let's put it this way. Okay. So now let's see what this sucker can do. So I'm starting. So running like 700. I like the sound. So it still sounds a little bit different in censored. So I think it would have a much better torque and control with sensors. That's what it looks like. So even at this speed, you have pretty good torque. I wish I had a third hand where I can hold this motor and show you how it behaves under load. I should figure out, maybe ask my daughter to do the video for me while I do this anyway. But, so starts slow, and this is great, really. Okay, and it goes all the way to up to, so the speed is bogus right now, as you can see, because gearing, I mean, it's counting as if this motor was a was a hub motor, but so at this speed, if it was a hub motor, it would be 25 miles. With these, that's the size of the 1900 millimeter size wheel. So anyway, so I can spin it up to 5,000 RPMs on censored. Almost 5,000. Let's see what happens when I disconnect the sensors. Where are the sensors? Oh, here's the sensor. Disconnected. These are the sensors that this is the harness I made on this motor. Okay, let's try. hear the sound. Not that much different, but I think, and you can't see the RPMs here because the sensors are disconnected, so it's not picking up the speed, but you can still see. Try to very slow. Yeah, if I really, it will still start slow. Controller can start it slow even without sensors. So the speed control is pretty good. Sensors are not, but I think we got way more RPMs here. So it's pulling a 40. Oops, this thing rotated. So you can tell that it has tons of torque. So it rotates my vise. Oops, it rotated. A small sucker rotated my. You can see that. Oh shit. So yep. So it has a torque. Has plenty of torque. Oh, that's good. So what I was gonna say is that it pulls, and maybe my resistor, shunt resistor value may be a little bit off. I just put a ballpark value of 1 milliohm for this controller. That's where it's probably 1.3 or so. I need to measure it, but that should be pretty accurate what it says. So this is a low speed, so that's good. It barely uses, but what I noticed is that in the censored mode it would use more amps censored. That's because it already applies a lot of torque. So we'll see. I mean, we have options to use censored or sensorless, so that's great to have those options. It's great to have a motor censored motor that can run sensorless. That's an absolutely great feature. Anyway, so you can start as fast as this. I'm thinking it's doing at least 5,000, if not 6,000 RPMs. Need to maybe connect one hole just to pick up the speed. That's a good thing to try. See how it works. Okay, so we're good. So the next one is this one. I'm gonna test this one. Difference is that this has 14 poles. This one has 7. So the motor will need to, the controller will need to process twice as many interrupts or cycles. So ideally we would like to have all of them 7 pole. The fewer pole pair counts, the better. But we'll see how that one works. I'm gonna connect and probably shoot another video soon. Anyway, that's about it. So it's a success. Great.